My first guest and I have been friends for many, many years at the racetrack. And I think it's the kind of example of the people you meet at the racetrack that become your friends. And my friend Anthony Stabile from the Horse Racing Radio Network has become one of my closest friends. And Anthony, thanks so much for joining us at the Post Live.
Thank you for having me. I think I petitioned to get onto this program for about 3 years now. Thanks for finally getting around to the Fat Man.
Well, it took a while. I wanted to save the best for last. I mean, we've got you and Chris and Chad Brown and Luch. I mean, what could be a bigger show than that? Is this your first full summer in Saratoga?
It is my first full summer in Saratoga as an adult, and
You're an adult?
by my actions and behavior, it's probably a good thing that this was my first full summer, because I don't know if I would have made many summers had I been coming up early. I came up with my dad, my mom, and my sister in 1992. My dad had Julio Pazua's book, and we came up because Dixie Brass had won the Withers in the Met Mile that year, and we had to come up because Dennis Barter thought he was going to be able to drag him 1.25 miles in the Travers, and he got beat.
He was fourth.
Yeah, he got beat a Zop in the
Thunder Rumble?
Thunder Rumble, got him both times, and they got beat ahead for third by Dance Floor on the Travers. And I don't think I have ever seen my old man more upset on a Shoto photo in my life. He figured it out. It cost him like $2,800 as his agent for MC Hammer's Dance Floor, because MC Hammer needed the extra money to.
Well, who would have blown it faster, your dad or MC Hammer?
MC Hammer, I think, is the correct answer to that question. Although my old man was a photo finish in second.
MC Hammer actually made one of the few guys that bets more than Luch for a brief period of time.
Yeah, MC Hammer couldn't stand with my man Luch. He might be able to dance better than Luch, but I don't think he could have fired away with him. The posse maybe would have been able to keep up with Luch, but it would have taken 6 or 7 guys.
If any of you have never seen the MC Hammer Coaching Club American Oaks win by Light, go to YouTube tonight and put in, I guess it's Light, L-I-T-E, L-I-T-E, Light, L-I-G-H-T, and MC Hammer or Belmont, CCA Oaks or something, because CBS the coverage, and I was there, so we saw, you were probably there too, when he was standing in the box area, and Shug is to his right, and the Phippses are to his right, and he took off his leather vest, and he was screaming to the crowd. It's one of the greatest moments in Belmont history. I was
actually at a 4th of July barbecue. I do remember being there for the Mother of All Gooses and winning $50 off one of the members of MC Hammer's posse in the photo call, because that's what 13-year-olds are supposed to do. They're supposed to be betting photos on the first floor at Belmont Park. It wasn't the first photo I bet. The first photo I ever bet was right here. Wanderkin and I Rejoice, 1989 Travers Day. Wow. I won that one too. So
Wanderkin was Richie O'Connell.
Yes.
And Eddie Kelly trained I Rejoice?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, we used to be able to get photos. There was all sorts of good stuff going on in the old days of the track, right?
Yep. But like I said, that's what a 12 and 13-year-old is supposed to be doing at the racetrack with his parent. With his father giving the nod to the, Sonny, I've seen a lot more races than you have. I was like, here's my money. Here's my $50 bill.
When did you first go to the track? How old were you?
I was in utero. When I was born, Angel Cordero and Georgie Velasquez Flowers beat my dads to the hospital room. That's a true story.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not surprising that a lot of Flowers probably beat your old man at the hospital.
Probably, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I was born at 10:20 in the morning, so the double was, an hour and a half away, 2 hours away. So, yeah, a lot of Flowers probably. And you know what? Depending on how the day went, maybe no Flowers made it to the hospital room that night.
And so you basically grew up at Aqueduct. Is that true?
Yeah. Aqueduct is, if I could walk a straight line, I mean, I don't know what this walking thing you guys are all excited about, but if I could walk a straight line, it's about 3/4 of a mile from my front door in Howard Beach to the front gate at Aqueduct. So it's a 5-minute drive. I get to spend half my work year. I literally roll out of bed and I'm at the Big A. So.
And tell us some jobs that you've held in racing. You worked for the Post for a while. You've had a lot of jobs in racing.
I graduated from St. John's University on May 17th, 1989.
That's a miracle.
And did I tell people I majored in Aqueduct and minored in Yonkers when I was at St. John. And I took a year. I had skipped a year in high school. That's a miracle in itself. I completed high school.
You didn't skip 3.
Because I ready for this one. I skipped lunch in high school because I got out at 1:38, and that meant I could get to the late pick 3 at Aqueduct every day. Because my high school was 3/8 of a mile from Aqueduct, John Adams High School on Rockaway Boulevard, 8 blocks from the track. So.
There couldn't have been anybody there. They had to all be at the track back in those days.
We were all there. 1 year to the day later, I remember my mom saying to me, I made a score, Breeders' Cup 98. If Yagley would have won the turf, I'd have won about $125,000. I made a score anyway that
Your
day.
life would have been so different.
Yeah, it would have been gone in about 11 months. I'd had a much better car. That was it. My mom said to me one day, it was middle of February. My grandfather had just passed away, and she started to get me tried to rebel rouse me a little. And she said, the New York Post or the Daily News just isn't going to call you one day. And literally 6 weeks later, Greg Gallo from the New York Post called my house and he was like, "Hey, I heard you were interested in our job opening. Do you want to come in?" I was like, "You see, Ma, this life thing is very easy. You people make it complicated. Just let everybody come to you." With the Post for 5 years. While I was at the Post, I did New York City OTB Thoroughbred Central for about 4 years. I've been at VegasInsider.com since 2006. I still cover the Triple Crown and the Breeders' Cup for them. And then it was a long time between drinks. It was hustling a lot of card games and selling some Yankee and Met tickets and doing what you had to do to survive. Picking the Belmont Stakes winner helped on more than one occasion. And
then HRN.
Then HRN, yep. And Mike and Michelle Penner literally saved my career. They got me on the air in late 2013, and it's been all uphill ever since. And that's a struggle for me going uphill ever since for 5 years.
And you started working with us about 1.5 years ago, I want to say, somewhere in there?
Because I'm good with my dates. July 15th, 2016, I got the text from Dan Silver. He said, "We need somebody next week." Andy suggested that you fill in for him. And I did. I think I picked 4 in a row. And I remember getting a call in September, and Dan again was like, "Do you want to do a couple of days?" So I showed up in my HRN gear the first time, and the second time too. And he said to me, he goes, "Do me a favor, can you suit and tie it tomorrow? We're going to pay you for these." I was like, "Ooh, this is a new concept. I'm going to get paid." And I said, "Sure." And I was on a couple of days, and he's like, "You interested in doing this?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, we'll have you on a few times." And knock wood, a few times has turned into, I think, 125 at this point.
Roughly.
So. Yeah, roughly.
So it's fun. You and I have a good time together. I enjoy doing the shows with you.
You're very compassionate on the air. You're very understanding. You're open-minded. You see
Patient.
you take patient.
All my best qualities.
I need you. You need to look at pace projectors a little more. But other than that, I think you're a really good handicapper.
Yeah, he really does. He needs to look at the pace projectors more. I personally, I love working with you. You and I have a lot of laughs together, and it's been a pleasure working. And people love it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people enjoy it a great deal. We're trying to make it fun. I mean, horse racing it's a funny thing. Horse racing, it's deadly serious, but it's also fun. I mean, it's entertainment, right? It's our people's hobbies. It's things you do, and you have to have fun doing it. And you have to be able to make fun of yourself at the end of the day.
Just so you know, I haven't had a great meetup here. I think the final offer was like $17,000 to backhand you off the table one day, off the chair. If it gets to 30,
what do I get though? What is my cut? Because I'm willing to work. I'm willing to work this out.
I got one right there. I got one right there for 18.
Really?
This is just picked up here.
Well,
yeah.
you could work the room when you're done up here if you want. If it's enough, what's my cut?
There's a few other rooms that we could probably get it to 50 or 60 at this point. You got half. I
get half?
When I eat, everybody eats.
Oh.
Not actual food. When I earn, everybody earns. When I eat, only I eat.
That I can imagine. Well, it's a pleasure having you. We enjoy having you at NYRA and working with us, and I think everybody in racing enjoys having you around.
Yeah, I love being a part of the team at NYRA. I love my HRN family. My NYRA family's great. When you walk around, I've come to love Saratoga. I was not always the biggest Saratoga fan. My favorite building on earth since they knocked Shea Stadium down is Belmont Park. I love Saratoga now. I love Belmont. I spent a lot of time in my life at Belmont and Aqueduct. Probably the two places I've spent the most time in my life, besides my home, are Belmont and Aqueduct. And, now being a part of the team at NYRA, and look, we're the best. We're the top dog. We're the top of the food chain. That's how it works. And when you can walk around and work with people like you and Maggie Wolfendale, and see Chris and Dave O'Rourke in the hallways every day, and Tony Alivato and my buddy Eric Donovan, who Eric Donovan now we pal around. But I remember Eric Donovan walking in that place in 1996, and I've watched his role grow as my role has grown, not only at Naira but in the industry. And it's when you build these relationships. I mean, you remember me running around there as a 10-year-old snot.
I remember you when you were. Yeah, you were.
Yeah. It's.
I liked you then, though. You were great.
Right. Well,
you're a horse player. You were great.
I was a horse player when I was 10. That's what it is.
That's when I met Eric. I met Eric before he worked for us, actually. I met him about 95.
That's, when you can build relationships and grow the sport and your career at the same time with people that are like family, it's just that much more special.
I agree. Working with wonderful people, and you brought them up, and Eric does a sensational job running our TV department.
I know John Embrial since I'm 5 years old.
Johnny's been with us for better part of 38 years. I think he started around 1980.
I'm 41.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1981. I think he started. I know John since I'm 5 years old. So now you get and John still calls me kiddo, which I love about that because there's a lot more gray than brown in here. So you got somebody calling you kiddo, you're all right.
No, it makes John feel younger. Anthony, it's a pleasure having you working with us. It's a pleasure having you join us at the Post Live. Thanks so much.
This was fun. Thanks,
Anthony Stabile.
Thanks, guys.